the late game start to control the map a lot more. So we've seen a lot of an emphasis towards Blaze, towards Sonya, of course, in particular, and a lot more Malthael than we're used to in Europe. But there's always a question, is Dehaka now coming back into this? Are we going to see him at the top lane? Are they trying to use a global to their advantage on a map where coordination means everything?
And I also kind of wonder, and this might be kind of out there, that Falstad, we saw it a lot in the Eastern Clash, and we're talking about it a lot during the Clash. Like, Falstad just does not get played in Europe anymore, but is there anything that might get picked up here? I mean, we've seen Snitch on Falstad in the past. Hasu as well has played the Falstad. The global element, period, cannot be annoyed or ignored when it comes to Dragonshire.
It just feels that Falstad in the European scene is not picked as much as in the Eastern, because the Western teams are doing a much better job at chasing him down on those solo lanes. And once that Falstad has to be in the 4-man or in any kind of rotation, he doesn't give you as much value with his global anymore than you would like, which is the main reason you pick him in the first place. So with Genji now being played a lot more, with Maiev being in there, it just makes it very difficult for Falstad to stay on that solo lane, especially if the opponent knows how to play around vision.
We'll see if any globals do get picked up as it's time to start the draft. Dragonshire has opened up with a Tracer ban. Tracer will not be played today, it looks like.
I mean, Liquid just has identified that Tracer is really the biggest problem that they have with Dignitas, and they don't want to give Dignitas a chance to play Tracer here, just period. So they ban Tracer out every single game. It's very reminiscent of what Dignitas did when they faced Fnatic. They just banned out Greymane the entire time, since Fnatic was so Greymane-centered that they said, hey, if we get rid of Greymane, you are going to start to struggle. This is the biggest threat potential that you have. We take that away from you, and we're confident we can deal with everything else. And that's what Liquid is doing now by banning Tracer.
Other top laners to think about when it comes to this battleground. Arthas was one that we've seen from Eternal in the past. He can do a really good job of trying to hold that top lane and come in for flanks. Team Liquid used to pride themselves on a double warrior and being able to have that Eternal flank come in. Also, Sonya, with her prevalence in the meta right now and how strong she is at shutting down a target, I can see her doing very well in that top lane, which opens up gankers to come in. The Muradins, the Genjis, whatever we want to see from our players. Now, Team Liquid has the first pickup again. Do they move into Stukov? Because they have been prioritizing him pretty high.
I mean, we have 4 heroes that I'm looking for. Stukov, Garrosh, potentially Genji.
Malfurion?
I don't think so. Malfurion is another good point. I'm not quite sure, but the one that I wanted to highlight is still Medivh. There's actually a lot that you can theorize about. I don't really think you necessarily need to go into one of the supports, and I like the Medivh pick a lot. The reason why I don't believe you need to go into Stukov or Medivh is because, or Malfurion, is if you don't pick one, you get the other.
Sure.
So both of them are absolutely viable with the combos. So in this case, they first pick Medivh. Now Dignitas could, for example, say, all right, we're going to take, let's say, Malfurion. And together with Malfurion, we're picking either Genji, we're picking Garrosh, we're picking one of those lanes. And Team Liquid has still an immediate shot at Stukov. So there's 2 great supports out right there that you can also use to play with Medivh, around Medivh, against Medivh. So I think you don't have to first pick either one.
Do wonder if we're going to get that Genji here for Dignitas. If you're looking at 2 battlegrounds that you typically want to see if Genji comes off to put pressure on the top lane, it's usually going to be Brackets Holdout and then Dragonshire. Being able to jump onto that top lane and be incredibly annoying is something that you have to consider. Also, another hero, Abathur, could be picked up here on Dragonshire as well to help empower that top lane.
True, good point. We could see him. Garrosh, is it Malfurion? Hanzo. Completely ignoring that the support battle for now.
Is this mostly for the giant control on the bottom lane?
I mean, the camp control in general is just absolutely... It's always impactful when you have a good solo laner. In this case, I'm actually asking, or if you have a good camp clearer. In this case, I'm actually asking myself if we're going to see a Sonya pick right away. And if together with the Sonya pick, we're going to see one of the 2 supports. They could ban out the second one and then force Dignitas to pick Uther, Rhaegar.
We'll find out. Team Liquid.
I think we're going to see Sonya here for sure.
Yeah, responding to that pretty quickly.
With the way that Eternal has been playing Sonya so far, Dignitas picking it away in the second game.
And that burst damage on the Garrosh to open up.
Sonya has a 100% win ratio in this series. She was played in the first 2 games by Team Liquid. Both were won by them, and then Dignitas played her on the last one.
Sonya and Stukov.
Sonya Stukov, yeah.
Okay, so top lane locked in. Support locked in as well. Expecting damage later on here for Team Liquid.
It's really interesting. The community is still full on the Dignitas train, so the faith is there again after the last win. So Dignitas is going to come in for the reverse sweep. But yeah, What's going to be banned here?
Closer, that's for sure. Especially with how Team Liquid's playing.
It's changing already. Like this is still open, boys. So I'm really curious if people think, okay, this is something where Team Liquid is all of a sudden showing that they are back on track, that the eyes are on the mid-season brawl, or where Team Dignitas all of a sudden wakes up and says, okay, guys, we're better than this.
I think this is fair. 50-50, 55-45. Because Team Liquid in Game 1 and Game 3 were there with them neck and neck, right? One mistake obviously hurt them on Towers of Doom.
Same thing, by the way, here. Medivh picked, and what do you ban second? You're thinking about Diablo because of the combo potential. Might not end up banning Diablo, but it has to be always on your mind, at least.
Yeah. What do you think about a Zeratul in this mix-up? I feel like Zeratul is pretty powerful against a Medivh, and it stresses out a Stukov pretty hard. Maybe not for this matchup, but I feel like he might be glazed over a little bit here, and what he brings to the table.
I mean, we see a lot more Zeratul in the Eastern meta. We've seen him at the Clash quite a bit. I feel it's really a preference pick in the end. I think he can put the pressure in, but also your Zeratul player has to be absolutely on point. If you eat one Sonya Spear and a Slam, you're already on half HP.
That's true.
So
Team Liquid thinking about their ban.
I mean, right now you're asking yourself, okay, do we ban Malfurion now? Do we take one of the supports away from them? Or do we just target something completely different? Go for a mage, for example. They could pick target the solo lane instead, make Sonya's life a little bit easier in the setup.
Any portal control that comes your way that you want to keep off. Malfurion ban would have been fine in that regard. Junkrat would be okay for me.
Blaze, yeah, Junkrat would be a ban that you can consider. You can consider banning Blaze. Genji is still around. You can think about Malfurion here. So they just try and make sure that Medivh is not pressured too much here by any kind of sneaks into the backline.
And they want to make sure that Sonya is by themselves in the top lane, right? Like Genji being able to surprise you. So that Genji ban enables both their Medivh and Sonya.
So what are we expecting for the solo lane? Is it going to be Blaze again?
Knowing will be, yeah. It's either that or the Dehaka, right?
We haven't really seen a lot of Leoric being picked up in that setup, but then at the same time, I'm not quite sure. We've seen him actually on Infernal Shrines. This is the only map, and that was in the previous series. Yeah. It was actually not in this one.
The Medivh element makes it too hard for Leoric to come in and drop that Entomb. You're able to escape it pretty well, and suddenly you miss that cooldown and that hard fight you want. Even Break and Drain helps with the portals.
I feel the opening that Team Liquid has here is already fantastic. Medivh, Sonya, Stukov just sounds absolutely crazy. The way that Infernal has been playing on Volskaya with Sonya, as he had the Medivh support already, was just so aggressive because he knew he could get away with it. And then you have Stukov, and Splendor has really looked good. I mean, on the last map, it was a bit chaotic. It was all over the place, but I liked it. Sick skin, by the way, for Greymane. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
Just because of the sunglasses. Let's be real. Put him on the motorcycle
there. It's more than that.
Yeah. Well, Uther Greymane in here. Oldie combo, but a good one. You also have your stun if Garrosh gets a throw, very similar to Stitches into an Uther stun.
It's also very much what they love to play on the map, because Uther is the hero that they actually played 3 times here. It's their most played hero on Dragonshire. And I didn't really expect them to go down that path. When I looked at the stats they have on the map and the dominance that they had with Uther, but I really expected them, with how the draft back was going, to go back into the Malfurion play. But now with the Greymane pickup, it of course makes sense to bring Uther into play for the Divine Shield as well. But yeah, they're changing their MO a little bit, because I think they also realize, hey, we need to become a bit more aggressive in this. And they have now camp pressure. They have Garrosh for the displacement. They have also Greymane for the jump into the backline. So they have a lot of good tools that they can use.
Thrall comes out.
Okay. Very melee heavy setup.
And Blaze. So Sonya for the top lane. Thrall in the back. Just super melee heavy. They don't have a range. I mean, I guess you can consider a Medivh a range, but wow. Team Liquid going in. They have their poke there with Crash Lightning as well.
I mean, a lot with the portal plays, I would assume, playing around the 7 and 13 talents on the Medivh.
True. So if you're Dignitas, what stops them from getting the aggression they want onto you?
I mean, Dignitas has to go. It's also, they are basically picking all the heroes away that Whoopi could take. It's just, okay, do we go Malthael here? What do you have left? Malthael and Leoric. That's if you don't want to play Probius, those are your 2 options. I guess you could play Chen. But if you play Chen, then Blizzard nerfs him again, and it's a vicious cycle. Really? That doesn't even get a smile? Wow.
Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm over here like, what is this?
That can take a while.
That was my thinking face. I can't multitask, man.
Yeah, I know.
If you tell me to get a bicycle and then juggle, I'm not going to do it. Like, I just can't.
He really can't. Okay, I can't do that either, but yeah, you're pretty bad at multitasking. There's your Zeratul. didn't expect him into this, though.
I did.
Yeah, sure.
Notice another day in the casting office. What's up, Caldor? How's life, buddy?
Yeah.
Analyst.
Pretty good over. Okay, after the boink boink the entire time and now that, like, I'm really starting to worry about you. I'm really
It's the
starting to
mochas.
worry.
It's the coffees we got this morning. They gave me 3 mochas. They were really nice.
He's always
Taking like
no
2
more
sips of
espresso
each
for
one of
you.
them. Yeah, man, we're going in. Yeah, so do you think the Zeratil's the answer here?
Frankly, no.
I'm a little worried about it too, actually.
I'm surprised that they play. I mean, again, it's Wooby and Zeratul, and that's like the original Zeratul play. So because it's Wooby, I would say okay, they can definitely make it work.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect Zeratul into this with this heavy of a melee setup. If they play that correctly, Zeratul can actually get chunked down, and I'm wondering if Uther in particular can deal with all of this, especially Thrall.
It's a bit of a struggle. I think when it comes to Wooby Zeratul too, he's more of a defensive Zeratul. He's mostly trying to prey on the idea of you're not seeing them on the minimap.
This series has really surprised me so far, so I'm very cautious here with predictions, but I am very willing to see how this is going to end. Will Liquid be forced into a 5th map as we have Wooby for Team Dignitas on Zeratul, Poik on Hanzo, JPL on Garrosh, Snitch on Greymane, and Zelia on Uther.
On the right, Splendor playing Stukov, Hostile Obs on Medivh, Eternal playing Sonya, Sport Billy on Blaze, and Nurok will be your Thrall player. Where's that Crash Lightning pickup, Thrall? Where's it at?
Now this is really one of those games where it's just, the series is starting to be very different from what everybody expected, and I can't see anything happen here. Dignitas put their faith into Wooby on Zeratul, and he needs to be the one to really have an impact now. Nurok still teasing, not going for Crash Lightning at this point, holding it back for quite some time, and also not committing to it.
Wow, is he going to be the top laner here? No. Interesting. Moving into Echo of the Elements, this is the old Thrall pickup when you put him in the top lane. Now, this is actually really, really good for lots of poking. You don't get the damage that you get, but you get that extra charge when you put it to West. And hang on here, Snitch already takes pressure on the bottom lane, patting back to his teammates. Going to have JPL come over and toss poor Billy away. Dignitas already taking some fire.
And that could have been a kill.
Yeah, could have.
That, for a second, looked as if it would be the first kill in the game here. So, with the aggression that Liquid has shown today, Dignitas really seems to be a bit intimidated. But they have shown on the last map on Towers of Doom that they can definitely fight back into this. And yeah, I want to see especially what's going to happen at the top lane. Zeratul versus Sonya. It's a super interesting matchup to me at this point.
That it is. Zeratul was used back in the day as a way to control the top lane. You're not going to go toe-to-toe against Sonya in terms of actual fighting capabilities, but you do have decent clear, and with you having that blink available, you're able to outmaneuver her. So you can control the shrine on the top, push in the lane, and occasionally try to edge her out. You just have to be careful of a gank coming your way, because if you use that blink to control that top shrine, there is a possibility that your opponents come in for a gank, especially with that Medivh.
Yeah, and talking about pressure, Zeratul all the way up at the top already. Sport Billy is going straight for Snitch here. Whoopi is low. Zelia comes in, and that's the kill against Stukov. Well done. But Eternal is also now present, and he's putting the pain on the Greymane.
Already put him down there, drops on the Whirlwind as well, getting a little bit of a harassment. Their Nightcap is going to be pushing in that top lane too as well. So Team Liquid, as long as they buy some time in the middle, should be able to prevent JPL from grabbing the said dragon. As Splendor comes back to fight.
That's all a question of how much can they do up at the top, and that aura is helping Eternal. 3 heroes up against him as we speak, and Medivh is making his way down to the bot lane, where Thrall is now in a 2-for-1 situation with Medivh against Hanzo.
Something to point out too is that Nurok is actually almost done with Echo of the Elements. He needs 20 stacks. He has 17 already. His team has been setting him up well to clear out those minion waves, so having him in the 4-man seems to be paying off for them. And remember, he'll get a second charge, so he'll be able to poke pretty substantially in a lot of these fights.
And that's one of the things that you always want to do against Uther as well. The more you can poke, the better, of course, in that situation. Hazovs also is getting good stacks on Medivh, sitting at 16 as we speak. And yeah, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in, Echo of Elements completed for Thrall.
I feel like it's the fastest I've ever seen when it comes to Echo of Elements, at least in the competitive play. So
yeah.
Nice job there by Nurok. You're going to see him zapping away his opponent.
Zeratul also with the focus on Cleave that we've seen from the eastern scene here. And Wooby is going to have that impact onto that backline. He's going to be the one trying to stick close to the targets and taking them down quickly. But here's Zelia again in a bit of trouble, slowed down by Splendor. And the pressure onto the bot lane. There needs to be a reaction from Liquid. They're trying to get the push going up at the top, and that works out quite nicely for them. But at the bot lane, they're going to be under pressure. And now the rotation is happening as Liquid decides that they want to go for the defense up at the top.
Yeah, and Team Liquid will counter-aggression, go to the top lane instead. He goes for a snitch here, is able to zap away, but Wubby not as lucky. Gets low on health. Hasselhoff turns around with the fadeaway over-the-shoulder auto attack and gets the kill.
Casual last hit here.
Oh, you're not dead? Haha. Throws out an auto attack.
I'm always a bit scared when I see it this delayed because I always imagine that Blink cooldown is going to come back online and all of a sudden Zeratul is gone. But yeah, they get the kill, and that is of course the first kill for Liquid in this setup. But Splendor is also in trouble. He gets thrown in. Sportbilly is trying to help him out, and here comes the portal.
Wow, the portal is there just in time. Snitch is thrown to try and chase him down. Splendor turns around, though, and drops down the slow, able to get away. Team Liquid and their teamwork is on fire.
I'm actually giddy watching this because there's all these back and forth the entire time. Portal coming through, someone escaping, immediately Garrosh trying to get the throw in. Then we have, of course, also Blaze, for example, moving in with a quick jet propulsion, and Sonya with a spear. There's so much movement, so much agility, so much momentum here. Snitch also in trouble. The portal comes in again, and Snitch is in so much trouble here. He might still be able to get away, and he's actually shielded by JPL. And in the meantime, Point just casually takes the camp down here, but Zelia, oh, he goes down.
Actually impressive. Snitch was able to get away, but Zelia unfortunately cannot. Ooh, an engage here on a Hasselhoff. It's not near his portal, and he gets picked off, and it's become quite a bloodbath. We only have 4 kills, but the aggression between both these teams is at all-time high.
Yeah, and again, look at this.
Whoa!
Triple silence and 1 kill. Do they get the second? They try to go for JPL. He survives for now. There's no cooldowns ready, but a triple silence, and only Greymane falls. This looked like it would at least be a double kill.
Can Team Liquid make a play here, though, for the Dragon? Sonya heading to the top lane already, looking to grab that shrine. We're going to have Blaze once again here in the bottom lane. It looks like the cooldowns are a little bit too low in terms of death timers, so Team Liquid shouldn't be able to grab this, but gosh, you gotta love this game already.
Oh yeah, it's just back and forth the entire time, and of course Greymane stacks on level 7 on the Wizened Duelist. Got reset, but he's not the only one. Zelia about to fall here again. Hazob's going in and confirming the kill as we have Sportbilly barely escaping. But as we talk about stacks, let's talk for a second about Medivh. He lost everything that he had, and he was actually pretty close to completion.
Wow, only 3 now after that death. 10 around the corner for both of our teams, and they're still neck and neck in experience despite 4-2 in kills. Team Liquid also setting up already for the night camp to push in the top lane. Team Liquid and Team Dignitas going to 10 here, and I can't be more excited.
Yeah, Poik, look at Poik, his hit points. This is just so brutal. Hazobs gets attacked here. He's trying to run Snitch. Snitch, oh, he gets him. He could have actually just waited for the cooldown. He wasn't even attacked there. But Snitch says, well, if I can't get one, I'm getting the other.
I'm pretty sure he had the force of will up. He just didn't expect to go for the throw.
He should have, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just said, okay, I'm home free, we're good to go. I'm actually surprised we didn't get a force of will if it was on cooldown, just to be safe there. But wow, Snitch able to grab the kill.
I mean, the thing is, he probably expected Snitch to go for him in the first place and not switch targets. So I feel, even if he was on cooldown, he felt forced to try and move through. But in reality, he could have just waited. We know that. We have the vision. He didn't. So from his perspective, that choice made sense, probably.
Well, regardless, the stacks have been reset. Sportbilly and crew are on the bottom lane, and the deal gets a night camp. Here's another portal from Hasselhoff. Neurok steps up. Remember, massively melee composition here. Neurok comes in, drops down the Earthquake. Zelia is slowed down, so is Snitch. Zelia is shoved to the corner here, and Team Liquid will give chase, but JPL is here to save his life.
And the arrow comes out and hits Stukov, but immediately has opening the portals again. This game is all over the place, and I'm loving it. This is so much fun to watch. JPL in particular, just keeping his team mobile. Again, Zeratul coming in, and that's exactly what we talked about earlier. Zeratul moves in, Sonya hits the spear and the slam, and all of a sudden Wubby is, okay boys, I'm out of here.
Yep, he has to run out. He went to the top lane to push that instead. So Team Liquid is missing out on experience, but they're intending to look for a fight here. With Giants just spawning as well, they can take this away from their opponents. Finds no opportunity as JPL anchors in the bush pretty well, so Sonya has to head back to the top lane and keep herself up there with that experience so Team Liquid can stay here with Dignitas.
Cam control from both teams is absolutely excellent. The entire time we're seeing them fighting for it, and Splendor is already working on the siege camp. But that also gives the control of the bottom shrine over to Dignitas again. And Dignitas is starting to edge out a slight lead in experience. Now Sonya is taking control of the top. and should be able to also withstand the pressure of Zeratul. But Whoopi is now starting to make his way for the Shrine, and we have Greymane in the mid lane already in position.
Yep, Zeratul being annoying, trying to control that. Can he get it? He's slowing down Eternally. He's done so just enough, buying some time by moving as well, and have that blink to get out, and there it is. The first dragon of the game going over to Dignitas as they start to push in the middle lane.
Yeah, so they were a bit too late to interrupt it, and that was also because we had this nice setup with Snitch already waiting for the top Shrine to be taken, so they underestimated that timing a bit. And maybe Dignitas can use this now to walk away with a significant lead in experience. They're putting the pressure into the mid lane, but this camp that we've seen them taken earlier is also starting to put enormous pressure onto the bottom lane fort.
Now this is where I'm a bit curious to see how Team Liquid deals with this dragon pushing in. Typically you have
that was cool.
the punk coming out. Typically you have a range to deal with this dragon, right? Melees here for Team Liquid are going to have a hard time dealing with it, and they are taking some damage. Well gets the story here in the middle, as well as the turrets. Eternal may have gotten caught here as JPL goes for the gauge, throws him over the corner. Eternal's low, goes for the whirlwind. The taunt comes out, but my golly. Hasuab is here, gives him a force of will, as well as a portal to get out.
Oh, arrows, void prison, everything is being dropped at this point. Cooldown's been thrown out, Earthquake comes out, and we see Team Liquid again with a bit of a pressure play, but they were able to save Sonya, so that in the first place was already a big accomplishment. But a lot of cooldowns, of course, burned here. Now Sport BD still following Poik, but it's amazing how close and experienced the two still are.
It's amazing how both teams are able to disengage from the fight. Garrosh has saved his teammates multiple times, and the same can be said for Midi, dropping the portals. You expect that. And even though we've had a fight, it feels like every minute, we only have 7 kills in this game.
If you would tell me that we had 20 at this point, I wouldn't have been surprised. With
exactly.
how this was going, I mean, I come back to that triple silence that we saw earlier with the lurking arm. That really looked as if Eternal alone would be able to confirm it. Once again, the fight is starting up. Hazops needs to be careful. 22 stacks for him. He already died 2 times. He needs to be careful if he wants to complete his quest talent. That would be the power spike that he's waiting for. But again, both teams are all over the place. And while Liquid and Dignitas are fighting here, Whoopi is still pushing the top lane, and Sonya has to react.
Yes, exactly. The ace in the sleeve here for Dignitas, pushing that Night Camp in the top lane. Eternal finally gets over here to start clearing it on out. And we're going to also have Blaze join in pretty soon, too. The good news for Team Liquid is they'll have their own answer back. They can start their Night Camp, too. But Dignitas, already to the south, is looking to push in once again on that bottom lane. This fort is exposed.
Yeah, it definitely is. I also want to come back to adjustment in talents that we had. We haven't really talked about it, but we have Dust of Appearance taken on level 4 for Medivh. So really having also a bit of a counter against Whoopi, and just vision in general, very highly prioritized now by Hazops with his build.
Sonya pushing this top lane, Night Camp will be joining in soon. Zeratul's there to dissuade her from continuing to push, but Dignitas was able to open up the bottom lane. They jump in experience. They're about to hit 16.
Yeah, so Norok right now just making sure that he defends the bot lane, needs to make sure that this keep wall is not falling. The 16 talent that you just pointed out is, of course, a big advantage for Team Dignitas. And Liquid has to be concerned about this. They need to make sure that there's no additional Dragonite for Dignitas at this point. And they can rotate away, they can rotate to the bot lane, just focus their efforts onto the bottom shrine, as long as they make sure to keep up the experience in the mid and the bot lane at least.
16 hits, and Dignitas starts to poke a little bit. The shrines are activated, and Hasuab is looking to control. But the top lane is the real story here, as Greymane and Zeratul are looking to break down that fort and make it hard for Sonya to contest.
Yeah, Sonya is making the way up to the top, but Greymane, of course, is just chunking that thing down. So right now, Dignitas is finally gaining the momentum they've been working for the entire time. And Snitch is there, willing to fight, and Eternal is missing the spear. Medivh might be starting to join, but the fort has been eliminated, and now we have both of the shrines under the control of Dignitas once again.
They're looking for that root. At the same time in the middle lane, Blaze is doing his best to delay the shrine from being grabbed. Nerok and Scorpio doing their best to poke while Eternal grabs the shrine. Splinter, however, getting low on health. Can he get out? The Leyline Seal and 2 HP will be enough.
Oh, 1 million minion
Arrow
shot could have been enough. Arrow coming in. Splendor needs a lurking arm here, and he gets it. Gets it against Greymane. But still, Dignitas could move top and grab the shrine, and that means that Liquid now has to face the music in the middle.
Billy coming over here, trying to delay. Takes a little bit of harassment. Medivh is in the same spot to help out
They got
with
it.
the delay.
They should have it. At this point, it looks like Dignitas is able to get it. Again, the poke. Norok is trying to interrupt. Hazu with an interrupt. He can't die here. He dies again. He had 24 stacks, and he's reset once more. This is horrible for Liquid. Dignitas with the momentum. Billy thrown in and taken out as Team Dignitas is starting to eliminate Liquid off the map. 1 kill, 2. The Void Prison for the triple and the quad kill. Only Sonya survives. And Team Dignitas, with all the anger, all the wrath of the previous losses, is playing Team Liquid to the wall.
And they're going by the sidewall here, go straight for the keep. Are they
want
looking for a core?
Yeah,
and there's 20 seconds for 3 members to be up here for Team Liquid, and the Dragon starts beating down on the armor.
They're going for it, and I mean, it's only Sonya there, and right now he doesn't feel she's enough to stop this. Medivh is back, but does it even matter? Dignitas is going to force him into map number 5, 50%, 40, they're going down 30, this has to be it. The ley line comes out, but that's just not gonna be enough. It's game, and Team Liquid losing 2 in a row as Team Dignitas is getting angry and forcing the respect that they deserve.